Viewers, drop your location and local time in the comments. Let's see how far this one travels. Now picture this. Marcus, grease still clinging to his uniform like a stubborn cologne after a 12-hour shift at the shop, rolls into his driveway, just wanted to see his pride enjoy his '67 Camaro SS that had been a rust-eaten skeleton when he first bought it. He taps the garage remote, and the door creaks open to reveal chrome so bright it could signal passing aircraft and hugger orange paint so deep you might think you could dive into it. That's when the piece shatters across the lawn, charges Brenda, the self-crowned queen of Willowbrook Estates HOA, yelling into her phone that a black man is stealing her car. And in one of those moments that historians still argue whether to label comedy or tragedy, the wail of sirens echoes before she even speaks to him. Marcus stands there, keys in hand, in front of his own garage, blinking at the cosmic absurdity. His Camaro isn't some spur-of-the-moment trophy, it's the result of 18 months of painstaking weekends. A small block 350 rebuilt with his own hands, for months of sanding and priming until the paint could blind low-flying pigeons, and a binder full of receipts thicker than a city phone book. But Brenda's reputation precedes her. She's the kind of HOA president who once cited him for grass allegedly exceeding 2.5 inches, showing up with an actual ruler, probably the same one she uses to measure her own ego. When the officers arrive, Rodriguez, with his kind eyes, Morgan looking like he could bench press the patrol, Marcus flips open that binder. Photo evidence turning the rust bucket origins into a clear lineage of love and labor. Brenda waves glossy dealer stock photos, claiming a $45,000 purchase just being processed. No VIN, no bill of sale, just fiction printed on semi-gloss. The officers see through it quicker than you can say crocodile dung sunscreen, which, by the way, ancient Egyptians swore by even though dermatologists today remain politely skeptical. Brenda's face tightens, but this isn't the end, it's her opening move. Within days, violation notices bloom in Marcus's mailbox like weeds. Unauthorized commercial vehicle storage, excessive odors, noise violations, all time for maximum irritation. He knows now she's weaponizing the rulebook, and in that instant, a simple garage door moment becomes the first shot in a neighborhood war neither of them will be able to control. Marcus has been around long enough to know that in fights like this, you don't win by yelling louder, you win by showing the receipts. Literally. So he heads to the county courthouse on his lunch break, wading through public records in a room that smells like dust and resignation. And what he finds is juicier than any garage gossip. Turns out his work van is legally grandfathered in, bought years before the HOA's commercial vehicle rule ever existed, meaning Brenda's fine is about as enforceable as a pirate code. That little victory feels good, but it's just the warm-up. Then comes the jackpot. Buried in HOA financial statements are payouts to companies that all share Brenda's home address: B&B Property Solutions, Brenda's Best Gardens, Wilson and Associates. It's like finding out the magician's pulling coins from your ear that he swiped from your wallet. Sarah, the forensic accountant neighbor, takes one look and says it's embezzlement with the subtlety of a brick through a window. And Marcus realizes this isn't just about him. Brenda's been running a whole racket, targeting homeowners with harassment until they sell cheap, then flipping the properties to investor buddies. 3 families gone in the past year. Each one's misery carefully orchestrated. Historians still argue whether suburban greed or medieval palace intrigue produces more creative villainy, but Brenda's giving both eras a run for their money. Marcus's quiet resistance becomes a coalition: Tom, the postal worker, Mike the lawyer, Linda the teacher, Carlos the contractor, Sarah with her color-coded spreadsheets. They start calling it Operation Takedown Karen, meeting in garages over coffee and the scent of motor oil, plotting legal traps while Brenda marches her daily patrols like she's rehearsing for a HOA Olympics. Security cameras go up, incident forms get standardized, and Marcus keeps a calm exterior while Brenda ramps up nails in his driveway. Anonymous hate letters, false police reports. The best part? Brenda has no idea they're documenting every slip, every sneaky move, in cloud storage sharper than an eagle's eye. The coalition agrees, let her think she's winning. Rope-a-dope isn't just for boxing. It works fine in cul-de-sacs too. Every escalation from her is another bead on the evidentiary necklace they're building. And when it's done, it'll hang heavy enough to pull her presidency and her whole operation straight to the bottom. Brenda's unraveling is like watching a soap opera on fast forward by the time the credits should roll. She's only halfway through her worst ideas. First, she sneaks onto Marcus's property at night with spray paint, oil containers still wearing their Home Depot price stickers, and a tire-slashing knife. The cameras catch every move, her face lit up in glorious HD under the motion sensor floodlight. Then she tries to bribe Carlos with $2,000 in an envelope, muttering about taking back control, like she's the protagonist in a budget political thriller. When that doesn't work, she files another false police report, this time claiming Marcus threatened her with a weapon while he was actually elbow-deep in a neighbor's transmission, 3 witnesses watching. But the crown jewel of self-destruction comes at 2:33 a.m., when she uses a stolen master key to get into the HOA office and frantically feeds documents into a shredder like she's auditioning for a cooking show about making paper salad. The silent alarm calls Officer Rodriguez before she can even clear the in-tray. In court later, her excuse, "They're destroying everything I built," lands with all the sincerity of a kid claiming the dog ate their homework. Within weeks, the coalition's audit reveals $112,000 siphoned from the HOA over 3 years, plus a foreclosure hearing on Brenda's own house. The neighborhood meeting is packed, the vote of no confidence unanimous, and local news stations descend like pigeons on a dropped hot dog. Judge Hernandez's gavel finally falls in a packed courtroom. For years in state prison, full restitution, and 5 years probation. By the time Brenda is let out in shackles, Marcus isn't thinking about revenge anymore. The HOA has new leadership, transparent, sane, neighborly. Saturday barbecues replace rulebook warfare, property values rise, and Marcus's Camaro becomes a local legend. And while historians still argue whether karma is an actual cosmic force or just the product of well-documented evidence meeting a determined community in Willowbrook Estates, it's now considered as real as fresh-cut grass on a spring morning. The war is over, but the lesson lingers. Sometimes the best way to beat a bully is to hand them the rope and let their own weight do the rest. And now, with the dust settled and the hum of lawnmowers drifting through the neighborhood like a lazy summer afternoon, you can almost forget there was ever a time when tension curled like smoke between these houses. The barbecues start early here, laughter carrying just far enough to meet the scent of grilled corn and charcoal, and Marcus sits in his driveway with a coffee, the Camaro's paint catching the low sun in a slow, steady glow. It's a different kind of quiet now, not the brittle silence of neighbors eyeing each other over clipped hedges, but the kind that lets you breathe deeper, the kind you don't notice until you realize it's been missing. Kids race their bikes past without looking over their shoulders. Conversations happen on front porches without a hint of suspicion. And when someone waves from across the street, it's because they're glad to see you, not because they're taking a picture for documentation. The new HOA board meets in the clubhouse with the doors open, sunlight spilling in, and the most heated debate these days is whether to plant tomatoes or cucumbers in the community garden. For Marcus, it's a reminder that you don't have to be looking for a fight to win one. You just have to decide what's worth protecting and hold that line with patience, proof, and a little bit of help from the folks around you. The Camaro's engine ticks softly as it cools, a mechanical heartbeat slowing after a long run. And somewhere beyond the fence, the sound of a basketball thumping on pavement blends with the call of a mockingbird. The neighborhood is alive again, and the soft weight of that moment, you can almost hear the whisper of a truth that's older than any HOA rulebook. Good people, standing together, can make a place feel like home.